What color is this? It never takes so long. The first word that pops in your mind when you ask
Yellow.
it, 100% correct. Okay. One last one. What is this? Again, don't examine it. You already done it. When you are being with it, what is happening to you inside? What are the sensations you feel? Stay with those sensations. You can hold it tighter if you like, but it will still be, it's in your energy field, it's in your consciousness, it's in your information field already. So the first word, what material is this made from?
Mud.
100% correct. It looks like a stone, it's hardened mud, it's a fast one. This is a brick, you can open your eyes. This is a brick, it's brown and grey. It's right, it is not stone. Okay, you can open your eyes, Kamal. So how did you feel when you were, what are the sensations going on? That's what you need to focus on. And not look for the answer. It's when you're not looking for it that you're getting the answer. Because you already know it. Okay, this is the experience Archimedes had perhaps. When you're not looking for it, that's when he went to take a bath and he relaxed and it just occurred to him and he had this eureka feeling. The wow thing happens when you're really not focusing with your mind, but your inner intelligence, your consciousness, your awareness is still focused on it. The back of your mind is still there. Okay, what am I going to say today? Or what am I going to do about this? It's there at the back of your mind. But suddenly it occurs to you, and this is an experience we've all had. We all ongoingly have. But how do you access it again and again? To my experience, a lot of people who work in the creative field have it more often and more concretely than people in any other field, because that's a pure science. The other gets diluted, but it's not impossible to translate this into everything else you do. Whether it's business or finance or anything, it's been done. I've helped a lot of people do it. It's not impossible. Ongoingly be in the sense of knowingness, in the field of knowingness. So let me just put this up for the we are generally in three states of being. That we are either having something, or doing something, or being something. So the knowingness occurs in the sense of being. So you're being something, you're being there, you're being concentrated, you're being with the stone, with whatever is in your hand. Same thing with the thought. If you're being with that idea, just be with it. And it will crack, it will get an insight of what to do. So insight is very much different in nature than knowledge. Knowledge has a very different nature and character than insight. You can decide which one to use when. Both are important, but you can decide whether you're starting an idea, you need more insight. After you get an idea to design it, organize it, implement it, you may need more knowledge. So this is actually more questions.
Okay, I just zoned out, as you can see.
It takes time to come back into it. This is not a habit.
Yeah.
Then you can do it with your eyes open.
Yeah. I'm just coming back to this reality here. Okay. So I have this. I've had these moments in my life, in which I was sharing last night with you, and I want to continue that conversation. In which, with my eyes open, I can see dots. And I never asked about it before. I thought something's up with me, and then I used to forget about it. Which is something like sand dust, stardust, whatever you call it. What is it? I mean, is it like, am I the only one? Everyone has it?
No, the interesting
and what is it?
Interesting thing is that I have seen it and I've shown it to a lot of people and had them understand what it is. But for last 10 years, I've not really focused on it. I see it, I forget it, and doesn't. And last about 2-3 months, I've not even done it even once. So it's not something I practice like a habit. That okay, I'll meditate today or I'll do this X, Y, Z. I just go with the flow and see what I feel like doing.
But I see it.
So I saw it that morning, yesterday in the morning. I was sitting out there and all of these little things were floating around. And Wow, this is beautiful. I focused on it and these dots were dancing all around it. When I focused more, each dot became brighter and much more like golden. You're just dancing around. So you just stay with that. I mean, these are subtler energies which you're noticing, but I would not like to give more explanation on it because it's very subtle and perhaps at this moment you're not ready to use it concretely. Just be with it and it will reveal ongoingly, slowly, what it is and how it can manifest for you. So in this dimension, perhaps sometimes it's different for each person. So what the same thing will do for you will be different from what it will do for me. So if I tell you what it does, then you may not have another experience of it. So I'd like you to let it unfold to you. But it's definitely something important.
That was the next question. I believe in being in the present moment, I can create a future. And I believe every human being can do that. It's not just me. Everyone can do that. If we are in the moment, you can create a future. I can create a future that I want. For me, for my family, for my business, for the world, for the society. And I believe everyone can do that. So I have two questions. How can I do it and create a future that I want? And how can I get more and more people? I know it's a big question. To also believe that they can create their own future. Be it business, be it family, be it relationships. So how do we go from here to creating the future that we want?
For me, I don't see anything any other way better than an intuitive way. There's a great sense of knowing which allows you to be and do whatever it requires to do. But the challenge for us as humanity, as a planet, is to be able to drop the mind. Right now, to literally drop it to an extent that it doesn't become the driver. Right now, the mind is the driver. We're using the mind to decide, analyze, judge, compare, all that stuff before we take any decision. And the mind is leading us astray. I don't have to elaborate on that. We have the whole world as our example. So that's not really the way to make it into that wonderful, euphoric state of everybody peaceful, happy, healthy. But in little pockets when people have done it, like in a workshop, in a commune, and they've done it by that dropping that mind and being there just by your sense. You just sense that, oh, I need to go here, let me follow my instinct and see what happens when I go there. And by when these small experiences confirm to you that I was right, look, I was right, I went there and this happened and this is wonderful for me. So focusing on self and developing the self. Developing the self, I don't mean in the archaic way that, okay, I need to do X, Y, Z exercises. Just understanding the self. Who am I? And accepting is the bigger part of it. When I know myself, I say, these are my weaknesses, these are my strengths, at all levels, physical, mental, emotional, financial, relationship, everywhere, this is me. And I'm fine with it. The problem with us is, when we know that, now this is not fine with me, I have this weakness, I need to work on it and correct it. That's the problem. And we are conditioned that way from our childhood. If you don't know maths properly, let's do tuition. Let's get you to focus more on maths. But you're very good at science, why don't you focus on that? Build your strengths and let the weaknesses be. They'll unfold and reveal to you why they are your weaknesses. Probably you're not meant to do that. Then eventually when we all grow up, we realize, yeah, that's true. I was not meant to do maths. I was meant to be more creative. So that is true for many people I've talked with. It is true that when I was a child, I felt more interested in my father pushed me into engineering and I had to become an engineer. Then one day I realized, no, I'm a photographer. So then we spent 30 years in unlearning. Because we didn't follow the mind. The mind is going to lead you into, it's driven by expectations and fear. So what is going to create? More expectations, more fear. But intuition isn't. Intuition is fine to be wrong. It's fine to not be, if I may not be at the right place, right time, nothing grand would happen. Something very minuscule would happen, which was important to me, but I don't acknowledge it. It should be grand, only then I'll acknowledge it. Because it's still in that primitive state of mind that if it's bling bling, it's got big colors, everything, then it is beautiful and great for me. But if something simple and subtle, it's not. But that little thing contributed much to you. That one breath contributes much to you than the big grand meal you had. So to me, intuition is the right way. To just follow your knowingness and be there at the right time, right place. Just experiment with a little bit in smaller parts and then see if you can take it to larger areas, which I've done almost for 20 years. I've started 3 companies, this is the 3rd one, and I don't think I've ever gone wrong, which is difficult because I'm doing it alone. I don't see many people like me around. So it's a lonely journey in a way. So I have tried to trade and share this gift and bring it forth from so many more people, and it's becoming much more interesting now.
So
Okay, Yogesh, you want to ask some more?
No, no.
So is it a science or is it inherent energy or talent that you have or a God's gift?
No, it's a science, we all have it. There's a pineal gland in the middle of your brain, that's called the third eye.
Right. So
And the gland has its functions, it secretes certain juices, it works like a third eye. It's when you close your eyes and I say imagine an apple, you're not seeing it here, you're seeing it in that. It works exactly like an eye. If you read it on Google.
so what you're suggesting is that it's important to be with something, and to be with something you just need to drop everything around you and allow yourself to completely be with that thing, right?
Yeah, just concentrate on it, just focus on it.
Yeah, so I don't even use the word focus, otherwise mind gets
Yeah,
slowly-
mind comes in and says expectation.
Yeah. So
It's being
when
with it without
so
expectation.
when I saw you do this exercise, what I got was that I just allow myself to be with whatever I'm wanting to be with. So let's say I can pick up one area where I would need to focus on or maybe want results in.
Yeah, like
That could
what
be-
should I do with
that could
my
be a relationship.
recruitment?
That could be a relationship.
Yeah, it could be relationship, it could be
Okay. So when I'm trying to get my
an idea, a person, a place, could be anything.
it could be anything, yeah. So I'm trying to see if I need to look at relationship as an area where I need to work on, then I just allow myself to be with that person. And to allow myself to be with that person, I drop lot of things that I may have, disturbing me to be with that person. And I
See, then
drop
it
it.
becomes a lot of effort. See, the whole dimension is so effortless. You be with that person naturally.
No, so
You just feel like, don't
So
make
I
yourself do
personally-
it because,
so-
oh, I have to make my marriage work, otherwise it's going to be astray. You feel in this moment, I feel I can sit and think and concentrate on my wife, do it.
So when I talk
Or
of
there'll be another moment.
when I talk of being with a person, I'm not talking about that I have to be with that person. When I'm talking of being over here stands for that I'm really getting connected to you at a heart level, at a soul level, and trying to get you completely.
What she means is being yourself.
Yeah, I don't know which levels it would be in, because again that would get into categorizing. It's just being natural about it and saying I'm comfortable being with you and I can have a conversation with you or just look into your eyes, or even if he's not there, I can just focus on that person.
So I get this level correct, that I'm comfortable at
Yeah,
my
you're
own self.
comfortable. Yeah.
So now I'm going to the next level, which is once I'm comfortable with myself, then I can be comfortable with you.
Yeah,
And I'm going to the next
it's
level.
more about
So
you
the
just,
problem I'm trying to focus on is how do I use, so because I experienced the exercise when you did, I was observing it, I was trying to see what I could carry from this exercise, and I could put it in one area or two areas where I would need to work in. So I come from an advertising background, and a lot of times my work requires me to just look around for insights that are going to be interesting, and there's no logic at times. You do tons of
no,
research.
see, it's
to
not
arrive at
easy,
things.
and if I talk to you about it for 24 hours or 24 days also, you not get it because you're listening to me from the mind. So what happens in the workshop is I shift you into your sense of being. So then it becomes a distinction, an experience. That he just had an experience, last evening was an experience, it's what he's getting is a distinction. And over a period of time you'll make sense of it with your mind. I leave that to you, I'm sure your mind will work wonderfully and make more sense out of it than I can make sense out of it.
I get what you're saying,
But
that you're
the
suggesting
dimension
me.
of why we are talking here is going to remain in the dimension of knowing information.
I get
And
that.
I'm
You're
trying to shift you to
you're trying to get a muscle
experiential.
developed over there, which was
Right. So
involuntary
it's a
without.
distinction, it's like I talk about ice cream for 2 hours and give you an ice cream. You just know the difference.
So what you're saying is this: so with your workshops or with your tools, I can get down to a subconscious level, not at a conscious level.
No, it's not a conscious or subconscious, it's part of you. I wouldn't say it's subconscious, conscious at all because it's a functional part of me. I can do it with my eyes open.
Right. So what I say is this: that you are most effective when you are not conscious.
To begin with,
Yeah.
probably
When
you
you
need
are-
to close
when
your
you are
eyes.
looking at a
Over a
subconscious
period
level,
of time, you don't need to
like
close your
some,
eyes.
like
There's
so
an
when
old
you-
hippie saying, lose your mind, come to your senses. And part of that is the sixth sense.
Ask another
Yeah.
follow-up question. So,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
this is very interesting, but I feel that I was just having a conversation with her, and she's a recent graduate. I recently graduated from college as well, and I think this is the moment that every entrepreneur, when they start their business, goes through, because they all have something that is either ongoing or they are graduating at some point, and they have a world of possibilities. I know at the back of the room we have someone who just left their job
Okay,
in
and then
Dubai.
you have all these other faculties, not just clairvoyance, you're clairaudience. You're listening to something, you're talking the words, but you're listening, tuning into the sound, and it's telling you more than just the words can tell. So you have all these other faculties that start developing simultaneously because you're accessing them. They're already there. You're just not accessing them, aware of them. So these things will also happen. For example, I have written 2 books just by listening to that sound. I
No,
don't. I am not.
sorry, I actually
You know,
want to
so-
ask a something very specific. So in regards to like at that time when you're really trying to find yourself and really trying to know if you believe in an idea or in a business, to drop everything that is going on,
The
to
soul
bear
searching.
to bear the opportunity cost of being what you are taking up for.
Right.
I feel that you have to take the leap of faith. And that, although that can be a calculated risk, because you can do your your cost and benefit analysis of doing or pursuing an idea, but at times it's intuitive. So how
You
do
feel right about it. At
Yes.
some point, nobody feels right about it, but you
Absolutely,
feel right about it.
absolutely. So if at that keeping that situation in mind, which I feel that everyone in the room would be able to relate to at some level, how do you think would you recommend us to think about a situation like such?
I'm not getting your question at all. I'm
Like
sorry.
in that moment where you're really trying to figure out, you're trying to figure intuition out for yourself, but keeping this experience in mind. So when you
If
start
you're trying to find what you want to do next in life, if you
Um,
want to start a project
or where
a
you
course,
have a business idea
and
and
you
you want
don't know,
to
you're
know.
not sure about it.
Yes.
Okay.
How would you sort of reason it out in your head, or how would you recommend us to reason it out?
I mean, of course, it is a lot of soul searching when you start something big in your life, like marriage or a new project or a new business. It's a lot of soul searching. And one of the key things is to be honest with yourself. Intuition is about being honest with yourself. That's it. That's the key thing. That do I really personally and very intimately feel strongly about it for myself? Then once it's okay with you, then it'll become okay for everybody else. It's like when you do a Broadway show and you are enjoying your dance, everybody else does. But no matter how much training you have and you're doing all the right steps, but your spirit isn't in it, you won't have. I had this experience with a friend of mine. We were going to do a dance show together, and I just practiced for 3 days and forgot about it. So she would go there for 10 days, every day for 8 hours, and she did to the T, everything perfect. And when the day of the show, nobody else had to tell her. She knew herself that she wasn't in the dance. Everybody else said that to her later, but first thing she knew that I wasn't there. I just did it mechanically. The spirit, the joy of being there and doing it was all gone. I could see it. I didn't want to say it, but I knew she's sensitive enough. She'll sense it herself. And she said it, and then everybody reflected back saying, yes, but we didn't feel that you did a great job, but So that's overdoing it. That's using your mind to that extent that you're mechanical.
Yeah,
And then
we're running out of time.
So we take questions later.
Yeah.
I just wanted to unfold to you that this is a possibility. We have it with us. We're using it, but you could do it much more